Sort of. Hey, Mark, I'm just curious. Have you ever heard of Vaughan, Ontario?
I have. That's just north of downtown Toronto.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, Canada is testing something. We've spoken often on the show about how ADAS systems and self-driving autonomous vehicle systems. One of the things that you hear, although very quietly, usually after the fact, from manufacturers working on this, is we're going to need to fix the infrastructure, which means we have to customize it for autonomous vehicles. And obviously, a lot of that could be incredibly expensive and difficult. So solving those problems, those challenges to make the roads more visible in a computer language has been one of the challenges. 3M Canada, post-it note, folks, right? Yay, 3M. 3M Canada is working with something called the 407 ETR Concession Company. They operate Ontario's Highway 407. It's a toll road. Okay. And they're testing a 2.5 kilometer section of it using a special retroreflective tape that 3M has developed that
but
helps.
It's in 2-inch squares. They have to lay them down every 2 inches.
Yeah. No, it actually, what it does is it flanks the existing dashed lines in between the lanes. The tape does, and it helps, obviously, the car's vision sensors see where the road is. This is a fairly cheap solution, and it doesn't solve all the problems. It maybe solves a little bit of them, but it's a step in the right direction. And it's one of those things, as opposed to saying, hey, we need to completely rebuild all the roads so autonomous vehicles can be on them. This is something that's doable, that is reasonable.
Right.
I don't know if it's the same
What
thing.
about if there's snow on the road?
Right. Yeah, what about that?
Yeah. Well, they don't get that in Canada, so you don't have to worry about that.
No snow here.
There you go.
No snow. Yeah. I'll give you an example. I'm sharing a photo here of the 407 north of Toronto.
Thank you.
And this is a concrete highway. A lot of roads and highways in Ontario are asphalt, but this is a concrete road. And what they've done here is the typical white lines you see on a road. What they've done is they've outlined them in black, so the white has more contrast on concrete. So we've noticed this certainly with concrete roads which are lighter in color. Putting white lines on it sometimes is a bit of a washout, but this program will make them more highly visible by putting some contrast in the actual markings.
Yeah, we've been doing that here in the States for a little while now. Like they'll paint a black line and they'll paint the white line on top of it, like you said, for contrast.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same thing, but I've started
might not be the same thing, but
these exact thing, around work and stuff, and not just on the lines, but the text, stop, and the arrows and other things. I saw this picture and I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I've started seeing. And it's clearly not paint. I mean, these are clearly
they're stickers.
They're like nylon. They lay them down and then they heat them up so they melt to the surface. It's pretty cool stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, like you said, it's a simple fix. And then
hopefully don't come off easily.
When we need to remember something, do we write on them? Is that what we do?
Yeah, you lean out of the car and write on it as you're stuck in traffic.
I'll be back next Tuesday to see what I remember.
Pick up a quart of milk.